Okay. We're live. And we're on now. Hi, welcome. My name's Sandy Levesque. Welcome to Become the Change. This is the live hangout weekly show. And I'm here today with a really special guest, Avram Gonzales. Do you want to say hi, Avram?
Hi, Avram.
um, so
Threw you off there for a little bit, didn't it? You're like, well, I didn't really expect that. Yeah.
yeah,
What's
we
up,
can't
everybody?
laugh on a hangout about changing the world.
Yeah, exactly. We should probably keep it. We should probably keep it serious.
Yeah, no smiling and
Yeah, exactly.
no
Exactly.
laughing, please. And that includes you watching or watching this in the future. I'm going to explain who Abram is in a second. You probably already know if you've seen the things I posted about this hangout. I'm really excited to have him on the show. But just quickly, if this is the first time you're watching, because I know there are people watching this for the first time, this is a rapid, quick show. I'm speaking Franglish now, rapide, dedicated to using the internet to help have an impact in the world and getting inspired by change makers who are already doing that and working out how you can, find out the things that you're interested in, that you care about, and how to actually make a change, not just sort of sit there daydreaming about it, but actually go out there and do it. And I did this for a long time as an activist and a campaigner in London, helped mastermind a campaign which changed British law twice with nothing more than a laptop and a bicycle. So, so I saw a long time ago that a lot, and that was actually before social media. So I'm really excited that Abram is on the show today because he's actually a multi-talented, amazing person. He started his online adventures back in 2010, and I'm not going to give you his whole life story because I want to give you something to share, Abram. but cut a long story short, he began making videos about 3 years ago and started a journey which has inspired thousands of people literally all over the world, has led to him in being invited to speak on the TEDx stage out in Colorado in the States, to speaking on numerous other stages since then, and to working with people in loads of different countries. I'm speaking here from France. Abram's out in Boulder. And he's just been someone who's personally inspired me a lot, from the way that he interacts with other people on social media, the fun that he brings to things, as you've already seen, and also the fact that he's actually, he's one of those people that's changing the world and is also having money, and has broken out of the money matrix, and actually just this week has crossed over $250,000 with his online business, with him and his partner Nikki Magdalena. And I should say their results aren't typical. And just to be transparent, we both use the same online system, so we are going to be talking about that probably at the end and a bit throughout. But Avram really has a lot to share. He's kind of known as a social media guru, so if you listen closely, pay attention to what he's going to share in this next half hour. I know you'll come away with some tools that you can apply to sharing your message in a way that not only gets out there but allows you to have a nice lifestyle too. So, so Abram, could you maybe share like where it all started for people that don't know your story, and where perhaps people are wondering, well, what is this $1 million idea? And I just want to say that Abram at the moment has reached over 250,000, but I know so clearly that that's just like the beginning. They're well on the way to making 7 figures. So this is a great time to start following him if you want to see how to go from being at an already very successful 6-figure stage to taking it up a notch and going to 7 figures. So take it away, Abram. I'd love to know like how you got started and where you got your $1 million idea from and what it was.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, well, thanks for having me, Sandy, and I appreciate everybody who's tuning in today because it's not normal to be tuning into a broadcast like this. I mean, let's be real. So many people are actually more interested in the day-to-day grind of what it takes to just make it through their life, and are less interested or even able to be interested in actually lifting people up, creating a change for themselves and other people, right? Because it's so easy to get stuck in the day-to-day monotony of things, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second. But I wanted to give you a shout out, Sandy, because you know, you're one of those people that I look at and I see you're inspiring a ton of people. You know, there's people that they can't wait to read your next Facebook post, right? That's one of the brilliant things about social media is how many people you can touch with just a simple Facebook message, you know, or a simple Facebook post or a video. Just like it's just like the coolest thing ever, and most people don't grasp the full concept of what that really looks like and how powerful it is. With what I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes, I think people will start to get just how powerful it is, not only from the sense of being able to reach out and influence and touch the lives of a lot of people, but even generate a six-figure, seven-figure income and beyond, like me and Nikki have. So I wanted to give you a shout out, Sandy, because you're out there really doing some big work. And I don't think people realize it, but what they're witnessing right now in you is the very beginning of a huge, huge explosion, right? You guys are going to see Sandy over the next 30 days, over the next 90 days, do some really, really incredible things, and you're going to want to be a part of that. Right, you've probably heard similar stories before. You know, I picked up this story from The Slight Edge. It's a book I would recommend to anybody. It's been a huge contribution to me growing as an entrepreneur and as a person from the inside out. But in that story, the author Jeff Olson talks about the water hyacinth, the water lily, right? And if you look out into a pond at the beginning of like a 30-day stretch, and you start growing a water lily, the first 15 days or so, you might not even see any activity on the surface of the water, right? You make your way 20 days in, you might see the first water lily pop up above the surface. You make your way 25 days in, and there's a small patch, maybe a half dozen or a dozen water lilies. And in the last 5 days, something incredible happens, right? And the pace doubles and triples and quadruples, and soon, between the 28th day and the 30th day, you watch it go from the pond being half full to completely filling the entire pond. You can't even see the water anymore, and things have just exploded almost as if overnight. And that's exactly what's happening to Sandy right now as I watch this, right? Because the last year she spent, and if you looked at her over the last year, you didn't see anything really happening on the surface. Like I did, because I know you and I see you growing. Not everybody's like totally perceptive of seeing that, but they're like, where's the money? Where's the money, Sandy? You know, you've been working so hard. Where's the money? You know, and it's so stupid, you know, that people even think that kind of stuff, because when you go to school and you get an education, does anybody ask you when you're like, after you've taken your first class, hey, so are you making any money yet? No. That would be stupid. That would be stupid. But what we've witnessed with you in the last week, Sandy, is something incredible, right? For those of you who don't know, Sandy is now the water hyacinth that has reached the surface, that is starting to multiply like crazy, you know, and if you just get in and you stick around with her, you're going to watch her explode. You're going to see it's possible for you because you've been watching, you've been following, you can just see how quickly she's grown and expanded. Because just last week or the last week and a half, you'd had 2 $1,000 sales on the internet in a week.
It blew my mind, because you know, I'd had some before, but to have 2 in a week, I was lying in bed the second time it happened, because I wasn't feeling very well, and I had so much energy. I was like, oh my god, I have to go and dance, and it just I think like 70 people have watched, liked that video on Facebook, and I got so many messages about it. I was like, you know, I'm gonna be inspired by your celebrations and your victories. So
that's right. Yeah, and you show people what's possible. You know, and that's more of the beauty of social media, is it causes this ripple effect and this momentum. And right now you're at the beginning of this unstoppable momentum. And I hope people realize that, because if they partner with you and they choose you as their mentor, right? And I believe if we're on this page, people can just click the button below to get started with you, right? I believe if they're here this now,
exactly.
They can run with you. And if they're already with you, they can also choose to step up their game, right? Get all in, invested in their education just like you did, and meet us in Charlotte at the end of this month. Like, you're going to fly all the way from France to meet us in Charlotte, mastermind with us, and things are just going to go crazy. You know, and this is just the beginning. It's sort of like what happened with Nikki and I about a year ago. You know, we had started, you know, slowly working our way up, and I think in the month of June last year, we did something like $8,000 in an entire month, which was huge for us. Huge for us, right? And again, income disclosure, like our results are not typical. If you want to know what typical looks like, you know, some people want to know what typical looks like. You want to be average. Look, if you want to be average, go get a job. I'm surprised you're even on the Hangout right now because this is for a bunch of weirdos who want to change the world. You might be out of place, but you also might be getting ready to make a decision to start transitioning into a place like Sandy and I are right now. But what I was going to say is we went from that in a month, and then you were there for this, Sandy. You were there for like this whole week. We exploded to doing over $40,000 in a single month.
Yeah, I saw it with my own eyes, and it was just amazing. It's like it's like the Matrix coming apart in front of you.
Exactly, and that's how that metaphor that I was describing earlier of the water hyacinth really plays out, because you almost wonder where success was hiding the entire time. I think Napoleon Hill says that, you know, when the success shows up, you wonder, like, it's going to come so fast, so hard, you're going to wonder where it was the entire time. And obviously, I've spent like the last 7 minutes edifying the crap out of you because I think you're amazing. I wouldn't be on this hangout with you and sharing with people if I didn't think you were absolutely amazing and that you were going places. I forgot what I was going to say after that, but yeah, you're amazing. You're going places. People are going to see you explode, and I think it'd be to their best advantage to get started with you. Oh, this is what I was going to say. You were a Zumba instructor.
Yes.
Bro, you didn't know anything about marketing or doing stuff on the internet.
No.
And you got in and you were like, I'm going to make this work. I don't care how long it takes. My dream is what's important to me. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this. I don't want to teach classes every single day. It's not fun for me anymore to do it every day. I want to live life on my terms. And you made a decision. You didn't care how long it was going to be. And here you are, a year and a half later. Things are starting to explode.
Yeah.
You know? And I bet you're glad, because what's going to happen the next 90 days is going to be insane, right? So back to your question, like, who the heck am I? Where did things start? I got online back in 2010, and I was really sick and tired of my life at the time. I had just got done with school. I had to move back home with my parents. I was dumped by my girlfriend at the time, and I couldn't find a job for the life of me, right? I'd spent 12, 16 years in school, my entire life shooting for the job, right? The light at the end of the tunnel. And I couldn't find it. I'm glad I didn't find it. But I couldn't find it. Like, nothing seemed like a fit for me. I'd walk in and out of interviews, and the one question they always asked me that really stuck with me was, so if we hire you, would you be willing to cut your hair, shave your beard, and show up every day in a suit and tie? And I was like, of course I said yes. But in the back of my mind, I was like, no, dude, this sucks. Like, I like dressing the way that I dress because it's comfortable to me. I like having long hair. I think it's awesome. I got amazing hair, right? I got amazing hair. Why would I cut my hair? You know, and there was this big deal for them, and that's the moment that I really knew that it wasn't going to be for me. And so when I looked out onto the internet and on Facebook, I started connecting with people that were outside my social circle, right? Outside the people that I had known personally, and I started to see that there was a whole world of possibility there where I could learn something very important, marketing, right? I think it's Marie Forleo, who's an online internet marketing expert, changing the world of thousands of people. She says, look, if there's one skill you want to learn today, it's the skill of marketing, right? Because you can take that and you can apply it to anything, right? And if you don't think marketing applies to you, let me tell you why it does, right? If you're looking to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or you're looking to get married or whatever, guess what? You've got to sell the other person on the idea that you're a good fit for them, right? I mean, even something simple as that. When you're looking to get a job, what are you trying to do? You're trying to sell them on the idea that you're the best fit for the job, right? And if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to sell your own products or services, you have to learn the skill of marketing. Otherwise, you are dead in the water, because nobody will know that you exist. Nobody will know how you can help them, and therefore nobody will pay you for what you have going on, right? And so 2010, I made a decision. I was feeling like crap about myself, and I said, well, what can I do to change things up? First of all, I can learn how to do this online marketing stuff even though I have no idea how to do it. And secondly, if I'm feeling this low in my life, the reason I'm feeling like this is because I'm not growing anymore, right? If you're not growing, you're actually dying. And so what I did is I made a decision. I was going to go out there. I picked up a brand new video camera. Now you can do it with your smartphone. It's super cool, right? But I picked up a video camera as a broke college kid living at home with his parents, and I said, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do something brand new every single day that I've never done before. I'm going to film it on a video, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube and see what happens. Right? I was like, look, I can learn how to do marketing while I have some fun and do this thing, this project called Inspiration that I know will change my life. So that's how I got started online, and I made over 250 videos in 2010, sharing my daily stories of the things I was experiencing, the transformation that I was going through, and what that did was it transformed me on the inside from a personal development standpoint. I felt better about myself. I felt more confident. I have never felt as low as I did in the summer of 2009 since then. Because of this project, because I was willing to put myself out there, I never forget what the spirit of inspiration can do for anybody who's struggling in life, anybody who's feeling down in the dumps. It's as simple as making a commitment to get out of your comfort zone every single day and just do something new. Doesn't matter if it's meeting somebody new or trying something new that you've never done before, like blogging. Like, right, we're going to talk about blogging here in a minute, I'm sure, because that's where Sandy and I have gotten so much transformation personally, is from that journey. But that's what will transform your life. That's what transformed my life. I started it for me. Yeah. But I didn't know at the time that a lot of people, like you included, Sandy, would see my videos, become inspired, and then realize that their life can change too.
Yeah,
and that's the power of social media.
Yeah, right, because that idea that you had back in 2010, what I found so fascinating is that it's still growing for you today, because it's inspired so many other people to like I actually went out and did the same thing. Like, I made videos every day for a year just because I'd watched you talk about the transformation you had. And lots of other people, they might not have done a whole year's worth of videos, but there's a ton of inspiration videos out there on YouTube, and that spirit that you talked about, you know, I really believe that that has impacted so many more people than we can perhaps even realize, you know, that just that simple idea of doing something new every day that you haven't done before and sort of stepping out of the autopilot matrix that so many people live in. And you didn't know when you had that idea, did you, Avram, that that would turn into like $1 million idea?
Not at all. Right. Not at all. I just knew in my heart that if I wanted something to change, I would have to do that. I would have to get out of my comfort zone. And for me, it was also this experiment where I went to school for marketing, but I felt like none of the skills and the stuff I was learning were actually applicable to earning an income no matter where I was at. Like, it just seemed like it was grooming me for something that wasn't in line with where I wanted to go. I mean, I didn't know where I wanted to go at the time. But I knew that I wanted to learn this marketing stuff, this online stuff, because nobody was teaching it in school. Like the professors, there was a time when I was in graduate school, you know, in 2010, where I taught 2 of the lessons in graduate school because I knew more than the professor. Right?
Oh my God.
And I was showing people how you can use Twitter and how you can use blogging and how I was growing a tribe, and people were like, whoa. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to cultivate that skill set. So I married the 2 things together, and it was sort of like one of those serendipitous moments. Maybe somebody watching this is kind of feeling it right now, where you're like at the precipice of doing something really great. You don't know what it is yet, but you just know that like you're in the right place and that this is like the right choice for you. You don't know how it's going to unfold, but you're ready to just like take the leap. That's how I felt. You know, and I just went for it. And then there's so much magic that comes from being in the energy of really exploring what's possible out there. And yeah, it was crazy I've gotten so many messages even now from people that watch my videos from like 4 years ago that are super inspired, pumped up, that said, hey, you know, you did some videos that drastically changed the direction of my life, and that's, you know, that's really cool. But the next piece that was even cooler, and I think we can sort of transfer this conversation over, is the fact that when I did it back then, I was just looking to cultivate a skill set. I wasn't looking at making money or earning an income. I sort of like fell into that. The people that I was hanging out with, they were doing it, and I was like, well, what do I do? I didn't have like a product to offer. I didn't feel like I had a service to offer. Although I started like, people were asking me like, can you come make videos for me? And I was like, I have a flip cam. I can kind of edit stuff on iMovie. Sure. You know, so I had stuff like that that I was doing to launch my entrepreneurial journey. I even spent time as a wedding videographer,
Oh
shooting
my
weddings,
God.
shooting weddings for like the ultimate bridezillas that when I'd spend all yeah, oh my gosh. Talk about putting a lot of effort into a project and being like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." Handing it over to the bride and she's like, "Uncle, where's Uncle Jerry? Uncle Jerry's not in here. Uncle Jerry
Oh
has to be in here
God.
somewhere." And I'm like, shit, I forgot Uncle Jerry in this amazing 1 hour montage of the most beautiful day in your life. You know, and then you spend hours and hours editing it, and then they're still upset. Yeah, so anyway, that was the beginning of my journey as an entrepreneur. Even while I was working at my dad's dry cleaner for $8 to $10 an hour, folding sweaty clothes, you know, having to change when I get home because I smell like dry cleaning like stuff. Yeah, interesting times, but I was always looking to like sort of crack the code on how to earn an income online. And it's really funny because I always wanted to help people. Like I knew that I had a special gift with transforming people's lives because I'd sort of seen it accidentally by doing this video project, and you know, and I met my partner Nikki, who transformed my life. You know, she struggled for years as a broke life coach, but she was also skilled at what she did, and so she helped me transform some stuff. I've always been involved in personal development, and I knew that I could take those skills and what had transformed my life and teach it to other people, but I didn't know how. It's always been part of my mission, but I didn't know how. And that's where we stumbled into this online system. It's the reason that you and I have connected so closely. It's the reason that we've started this sort of movement with our team and our group of people, you know, to set people free from the money matrix. It's like now we actually have something where people can come in, and it's all about your own personal exploration, sharing from your heart what's changing in your lives, sharing your stories, because it's like your story is what's going to change other people's lives. Like I know that some people are having the experience right now. You're hearing me talk, you're hearing the words coming out of my mouth, and you're connecting them with places in your life where you're like, look, yeah, I mean, I've been feeling kind of stuck. I've been feeling kind of down. Maybe I could do this thing. You know, maybe I'm at the beginning of my jumping off point and changing my life, and that's really what we have to offer. And it's like me just showing up and sharing my story with you is making an impact, right? You can feel it. You can feel like something changing right now, and that's the power that you have when you share your unique story with other people. So we have this system that's built on the back of a blog. And a blog to me is simply something that you can use to change your life because it's like an open diary to the world, but it's also a place where you can share your message and your gifts, and you can change and affect other people. Now the cool part about it is I blogged for years on my own blog, and I spent a lot of time and I made no money. I spent that whole year doing my inspiration thing and I didn't make any money because I didn't have anything to sell, right? You can only make money doing stuff if you're selling a product or a service. That's the only way you make money, right? And so the system that we have is built to do that for you. You don't have a product to sell? That's cool. You can sell our products. You know, you can make almost 100% of your money back on the product sales, right? We pay out almost 100% commissions on all of our core products. And it's a cool thing because our products teach people how to become more of themselves, how to step into their greatness, how to speak their message out into the world and affect people from all over the globe. Like just like we're doing right now, Sandy. It's the coolest thing ever, right? And so, you know, I know you had some other questions for me, but I'm just kind of sort of saying what's on my heart, you know, what's going. I'm excited, obviously. I'm excited, obviously. So I just wanted to share a few final thoughts with people, and then I actually have to run because we're doing this thing right now. Some of the people watching, they already know about it. We're doing a 90-day run. We're doing a 90-day run. Me and my partner Nikki, like Sandy said, we just crossed $250,000 in this little online business that we started about 18 and a half, 19 months ago, and we're going to double that in the next 90 days. Last year was all about us helping ourselves, right? Getting out of the struggle of money, getting out of basically poverty. You know, we were living in a 2-bedroom, shitty little house, mold crawling up the walls, with a landlord that would sneak into our house and go through Nikki's underwear drawer when we were out of town. Bad situation, but we couldn't get out because we were stuck by our finances, right? That was just last April that we were in that situation. And here we are now. We're in my back office. You can't see the yard. It's a little sun's beating down on me right now. But this is my office. You know, we're in a nice 3,000 square foot house. You know, we've upgraded pretty much every part of our living situation so that now we don't have to think about money. You know, we don't even think about money. It's like if you're in the desert and you're thirsty, what's the only thing that you can think about? Water.
Yeah.
When you don't have money, what's the only thing that you can think about? Money. Well, guess what happens when you don't have to think about money? That's when you can actually create a change in other people's lives, if that's something that you want to do, right? You actually free up your own mental, unconscious resources to go focus on other things that can build out into other people's lives. And that's what we're doing, right? Last year was about us. This year is about you. The person watching this video right now who is ready to run, who has said, this is enough. I'm done being where I am right now. I'm sick and tired of it. I can't stand this situation. So Nikki and I are taking 10 people in the next 90 days on this freedom run, right? Freedom can mean something different to anybody, right? It could be a different dollar amount. It could be a different situation. I don't know what it is to you, but more often than not, it involves a dollar amount for you to become truly free, not only in your situation, but in your mind as well. Because when you're not spending time thinking about money, you're not spending time thinking about these other things like paying the bills and stuff, that's when you become free. Your mind is literally free, free to roam, and that's the gift that we want to give you. And so here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Some people might be watching this and they're like, yeah, well, that's cool. I'm not ready to change. That's fine. That's great. This isn't for you. This is for the people that are sitting here right now, that are ready to make a decision, that are ready to run with us, run with Sandy, get with this freedom train. We're going with it or without you. Like the 10 slots that we have, Sandy's one of them, right? Sandy's one of them. The 10 slots are going to fill up. They're going to go fast regardless of who comes and who doesn't. This train only comes by once. We're fired up. We're pumped up. We're ready to really dive deep and help more people. That's what we're committed to over the next 90 days. So you can come with us if you want. If not, fine. That's your choice. This will not be repeated. This is a short window of opportunity to really run with some people that are on fire, people that are interested in conscious entrepreneurship, people that are interested in lifting each other up in a community that doesn't judge each other. So here's what you need to do. If you're not in, you need to click the button below and get in, right? If somebody invited you to this hangout and it wasn't Sandy or whatever, get back with them and ask them, hey, where do I join? What do I need to do to get started today? Okay? You're going to get plugged in to top-of-the-line mentorship from me and Nikki, Sandy, some of the other leaders that we have running with us, and it's going to be incredible. It's never going to happen again. It's going to be fun stuff, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is, if you're in and you're making a commitment right now, you need to get all in. Okay, you need to get all in. You need to invest in your education, get all in so you can do the stuff that Sandy's doing right now. Do the stuff that we're doing right now. Right? You need the leverage, you need the education to be able to move forward. Okay? That's the second thing. And the third thing is you need to meet us in Charlotte. You need to meet us in Charlotte. Tickets are like $150 for a weekend of transformation where you can spend time with people who are crushing it. What's up? Peter Liu just went all in with the vision. He's going to meet us in Charlotte. Cool. Congratulations, Peter Liu. We'll see you there, buddy. That's one more spot down, right? That's one more spot down. So this is how it works, right? I remember a time, and I got a jet here. I remember a time I was going to Houston with Nikki, and it was back at the end of May in 2013, about a year ago, right? Almost a year ago to the day. And we were looking for that transformation. And we went to this event, and we had to spend some time with some close mentors of us that we have right now. Right? One of them is Lawrence Tam, who's $1 million earner inside of this freedom movement, right? Hope you get the chance to meet him. I'll actually tell you how you can meet him in a second. And we spent some time with him, two others, Toby and Layla Black, and a few other people that were really, really making moves in their business, people that were really dedicated to helping people. We spent the weekend with them. We broke bread. We hung out. We had great conversations. And something flipped inside, right? It's the same transition that Sandy had when she spent a week with us in July of last year. Because like I said, it was May of last year. We went to this event, and we came out completely different people. And it was only 30 days later that we made over $44,000 in a single month. Again, income disclosure, results not typical. Go to empowernetwork.com/income to see what the average earnings look like. But what happened was, and what I know happened was, it is an unexplainable force of the universe that when you spend time with people who are going where you want to go, you automatically entrain to that higher vibration, and you get lifted up just by spending time with them and being there in person. Right now in this hangout, you probably, if you check in with yourself, you feel different now than you did when you started. You feel different now than you did when you started the hangout. That's a taste of the transformation that you can have, because we're just virtual right now. We're just virtual. There's something special that happens when I'm able to give you a big hug, right? I'm able to have a 2-minute conversation with you, find out where you're at, help you get started, help you figure out where to go next, that you can only get when you're there in person. And I am 100% dedicated for the next 30 days to spend time with people that are all in and that are getting to Charlotte. And when I see you in Charlotte, I am all about you. I'm about pouring energy into you. Now, you got to be moving. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to be doing stuff. You know, showing up is just half the game. Showing up is just half the game, okay? So first thing, if you're not in, get in. Click the button below, right, to join. If you're not all in, get all in. Today, there's a special promotion window, 72 hours. You can get stuff. It is dramatically easier for you to get all in. Slashing the prices. Yeah. The third thing is you need to meet us in Charlotte. Meet us in Charlotte. We will lift you up. We will bring you into this freedom movement starting right now. And I also want to let you know that this mentor of mine, this millionaire mentor of mine, and Nikki's, will be hanging out with us this Thursday. Okay, this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you get in the team right now, you can be there for that hangout, right? Yeah. He's going to teach you what he did to go from 0 to $1 million, part-time as an engineer, working full-time with 3 kids at home. Lawrence Tam can do it. You can do it. If Sandy can do it and move to Portugal, I believe this month or next month, right?
Yeah, in a month's time. This time next month I'll be there. So
yeah, live on the beaches of Portugal with her dog, doing whatever she wants, not tied to her Zumba classes anymore. You can do it, right? If you go to Charlotte, you'll get the chance to meet Sandy. You'll get the chance to meet Marianne Tilton, right? Marianne Tilton, who has been traveling Europe for the last 2 months now, and is going to be going over to Bali this summer to visit with an orphanage that she has been pouring life into for the last few years. She'll get to go meet the children in person, right, and do what she's always wanted to do, because they're a part of the movement, because they're showing up in Charlotte, and because they're dedicated to creating a new future, and they're done settling for less than they are. So that's all I had to say. I invite you guys out for Thursday. If you're a part of the team, appreciate you having me out here, Sandy. How about you wrap it up, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for having me out.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Avram. That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you, everybody. Hope to see you on the inside.
Bye-bye. Cool. Thank you, everyone. So I hope you're inspired by that. I know that listening to Avram, I'm inspired, because the thing that he shares is, you know, when you start to change in your own life and your own situation, you literally become the change. You know, like Gandhi always said, it's like you become a different vibration. And I spent a week with Avram and his partner in July, staying at their house, seeing the kind of how they did their business and how they interacted with themselves and with other people. And it really changed my life in so many ways, because I started to see just a different way of being in the world, where you're not constantly worrying about surviving and taking care of your basic needs, and where you can actually do things for other people, do things for the planet, do things for the things you care about, because you've got that financial and the time and the mental freedom to do it. So I'm not going to go on for too much longer. The links are in the post which you're watching this on. Go ahead and click on them for information. There's one about FAQs as well. And just know that you can really become the change you want to see in the world. You don't have to do it and sacrifice your own happiness and your own comfort. You really can have it all. You know, it sounds cheesy, but you don't have to make it one or the other. And I personally did make it one or the other for a long time, where I was campaigning and being an activist, and I lived on like less than minimum wage. You know, I was working on a part-time salary, living in central London, one of the most expensive cities in the world, and I would have, you know, I was so broke that I couldn't even buy coffee with the politicians that I was lobbying. I would hope they would buy it or put it on their expenses, and would have to take my bike to meetings because I couldn't afford a bus fare, because I was living on such a tight weekly budget. And I remember taking money out of my ATM every week to make sure I didn't go over it, and still never quite having enough. And so just what I, you know, want to share before I wrap up here is that, you know, when you come and you start to change your reality, and you use online systems or whatever it is, but use something, you know, to help you move out of that, you really can become more of the change that you wish other people to have, you know, whether it's people that you know or people coming after you, you know, or your children, people in your family. It's like you start to just be a different energy and a different vibration in this planet, which can inspire other people to know, oh, okay, well, if she did it, and she was a broke Zumba instructor and a broke activist, then I can do it, you know. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to Avram for coming out. And if you have any questions about anything that we talked about, then do contact me on Facebook or on Skype. But Facebook's usually where I hang out, to be honest. And just know that whoever you are, whatever your vision is and your dream for the world, you really can make it happen. You know, that I just know that with every fiber of my being. And I see so many people that are kind of waiting for this mysterious point in their life when they will become an activist, or they will become a change maker. But the thing is, you can actually start right now, you know, and it actually starts, I believe, with taking care of yourself as well, not just putting other people first. So thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next week at the new time of 8 o'clock European, Central European time. And this has been Sandy Levesque with Become the Change. I shall see you soon. Au revoir.